Sun rays like a satellite. Energies bring me back to life. Catch me chilling with the halo. Universal flow, I belong here. Keep that focus on that starlight. God of my universe, part of my mission, righteous the Almighty. Raw splitting the sea into that twist side. Go far into vision, lifting up that soul right. High low, high low, high low, high low. Elevate my love, generate my touch. Everything I see coming to me, I'm knowing. Proofs that I bear from the song. I just put in work to the morning.
Hello, beautiful people. Come on in the room.
Good night.
Good night. We are ready to vibe with you, beautiful people, tonight. I'm going on and just sharing it really fast. There's some groups and all that stuff because I've been utilizing that. But come on in. I'm happy. We are happy to have you guys tonight and getting in the zone. And Pow Pow is actually making her way. She's getting online right now. So very excited. I want to make sure everything is flowing well and that everyone can hear us fine. So just going ahead and sharing it. Rain, how was your day today? Let me turn this down.
My day was not bad. I enjoyed the weather. We had a beautiful day in New York, so I just want to be, thankful for the little things. So it was a great day.
I like that. Is it cold? Has it started to get cold yet, or is it still actually nice weather?
So New York been doing what New York does, which is having 7 seasons in one. But today was pretty nice. Today was, I believe, either 71 or 72. So that's a nice day in New York.
Okay.
Other days they've been cold, like
nice
pneumonia weather.
Ooh.
It was nice.
The bipolar action. Mm-hmm. And Asher Weather Woman is in the building.
Hi, darling.
Hi, Ray. What's up, mamas?
How are you? Like, we got the same memo tonight. We're the black.
Yeah, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Definitely. Man, I'm so prepared for y'all tonight, and I'm also so prepared to hear and to receive tonight.
Okay. Well, I'm so excited. Y'all coming in with the energy. I have to come and balance it out. You guys normally I come with the black and the dark colors. I'm in the white. So we're going to balance this thing on out right in the middle of these lovely witchy ladies. You guys, it's going to be a beautiful night. As always, we don't know what to expect. It's going to be good.
I have to just express how excited I am to have you on. I have 50 million questions.
Oh, and it's a new moon coming up on Friday, so I got so much information to share with you guys. This is a very transformative time, and I am ready for y'all. I got my notes. I'm ready.
Yay, this is going to be lit. Well, Rain is going to actually drive the car today. I'm cruising as a passenger today.
Okay.
Rain was like, we need the girls on. I don't know what's going on, but we need them and we need to talk. There's some things going on in the planet and these stars and this moon. What I will say is last month was hard as hell and crazy as hell.
I got something for you. I got something. This Pisces energy in particular. Oh my God.
Well, you're going to get into all that. I'm just wait, you'll get to all that because you know me, I want to hear it all. But I would say last month was crazy with the energy, a lot of people having, it's like people had these valley experiences. It's like these desert experiences. But then coming out of that, especially with the moon that recently left us, the full moon, it seemed to have brought a lot of clarity, a lot of resolution, a lot of resolve, a lot of progression. So I'm excited to see what the hell is going on. Go ahead, Ray.
So my phrase for 2024 has been like the year's been doing what it want to do. The universe has been fighting us. I don't know what we did to the universe, but it feels like the universe been like, you know what, we're gonna hash out all this beef and we're gonna finally get it correct once and for all. It felt like it was like a finite point that everyone came to. It was like cycle stuck back in the loop and continue on. So I was just like, I wanted to understand what was going we were at because I feel like we're in a position of transition. You know, I feel like there's a lot of transits happen at the moment that's like really entering us into these new elevated timelines. So, you know, I wanted us to tie in a little astrology, a little timeline traveling, you know, like something's going on. I feel it in my spirit. And as Baba said, last month was very difficult in the sense that it was like the universe was holding up a mirror to everyone and say it's time to reflect because you can't hide in the shadows anymore. I'm going to take you out of the shadows. And you know, if you know Aries energy, he's the initiator, he's the starter, he's the child, the you know, that infancy stage. So it's like he was pushing us that last full moon we had to really be rebirthed into something new. There was like a catastrophe and a death. And then out of that death was, let's bring you back from the ashes and raise you into something new. What that newness is, I haven't figured it out yet, you know, but that's the great thing about newness. It can be whatever you want it to be. So I wanted to know, like, how do we utilize these transit energies that I know is happening to our benefit? Sorry if I'm rambling, but I'm just
this is very beautiful and insightful information, and you kicking it off the right way, Rain. You're doing an amazing job. I really am. I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
I agree, Rain. You ain't doing too much, baby. You right in sync. You speak, you know, you speaks for the people. So I'm ready. I'm taking it in tonight because I know Fallon. She told me Fallon been geared up since last week. You understand? Fallon been in it since last week, but she has some, you know, some queenly duties to see about, and I wanted to grant her proper space and time to do that, and not put the pressure on, you know, showing up and being in that space. But I'm so glad she pumped.
Even this little time, even us pushing back the time was good for me and getting myself mentally prepared to be able to really share with the people who may not be as in tune with this energy. We welcome you. We welcome you to come and learn and to come be in the space and to commune with us during this very intimate time, because we're in the season of Scorpio, you guys. We're in the season of Scorpio. Scorpio is the 8th sign of the zodiac. It started with Aries. Scorpio is the sign that is ruled by Mars alongside with Pluto. So also the planet that is ruled by Mars is Aries. So Rain, you so eloquently talked about the Aries full moon that we just got out of. It was an eclipse season. That's why we felt that energy so prevalently. And when you have eclipses, we have a solar and a lunar eclipse. It was a partial eclipse, yet it was still very potent. There was a lot of energy. Peace and love. I'm also live here on my Instagram. Peace and love.
Awesome.
Sunday Sign Productions. What's that? Sasan Design Productions. Peace and love. Beautiful. She says Scorpio here. Shout out to all the Scorpios. Happy birthday to you guys. We love you guys. We love the loyalty, intensity, and the intimacy, because a lot of us, so what that Aries full moon did, it brought up a lot of stuff. And so Aries is the I am of the zodiac. Okay, so when you said that mirror and that reflection, everything around you was a reflection of what you create. And we were in the Libra season when that happens. So when there's a full moon, that means the sun and the moon are in opposition signs. Every sign has an opposite. So the sun was in Libra, the moon was in Aries. They're opposite signs. Same thing for in Scorpio season, and when we have a full moon, it will be in Taurus. But we're talking about the new moon energy in Scorpio that is actually going to be coming up, and the new moon energy is always in the same sign as the sun. So that's Friday. The moon and the sun will be in the same sign, and there's so much energy. That's water energy. We also have a lot of Pisces energy going on because we have Saturn still in Pisces. We talked about that last time. I think we expounded upon that subconscious work, that psychological work. Those who were born in like 1993 to like 1990, I want to say the top of 1995, you were going through a Saturn return in Pisces at this time. So that is like a psychological cleanse. That is when you have to be more disciplined, because Saturn is the planet of structure and discipline. It's the papa, it's the father of the zodiac. So going back into what we just got out of, all that intensity. Remember, Aries is the initiator. So Aries really initiated. Okay, what is your I am? What a part of your I am that's reflecting your we are, which is the affirmation for Libra. That's the opposite signs. And so Libra is your relationships. It's that seventh house energy. It is more so about your more business partnerships, your marriages, your serious relationships in your life. If you having friction in those situations, that Aries energy brought about, what about me that needs to change so that my we are can change around me as well too.
Talk about that a little bit. Get into that. Don't bypass it. Get into that.
I am. Hey, Shawanda, what's up, love? So your I am is who you are to the core. What are your values? What were some of the things that happened in your childhood that shaped who you are, and what is some of your past life energy that you may have brought, that you are inherited with? It's who are you? Who are you as a person? And what around you, and even if the subconscious, some of our trauma, some of our triggers, some of the wounds that we've had in the past. So Aries is also tied into that Chiron type of energy, the wounded healer. So what wounds do you carry in your I am that is reflecting in your relationships? People come as mirrors. Your relationships are really, it's a ship, okay? What is a relate? It's how you relate and what ship you in when you're relating in that ship. And if you don't relate in that ship no more, and there's holes in the ship, and ain't nobody talking about how we gonna patch it up or how we gonna get it together, that it really starts with your I am. So if you have a problem with somebody around you and you are not willing to go through that confrontation, because confrontation creates more intimacy in your relationships. A lot of people are afraid of war. War and destruction is very necessary in order to build on a more solid foundation. Let's be real. The trauma resides in the womb, baby. Okay. So some of us inherited some of our mother's wounds. Some of us inherit some of our father's wounds. Because they said the sins of the father is becomes the sins of the child if it's not being brought up. So that could reflect in some of your more serious partnerships and relationships in your business. So that is the energy that we were experiencing last month, and it was heavy for a lot of us. A lot of us had to make really, instead of deflecting and projecting, on your judgments. What are some of your judgments that you do have in your relationships? Are you holding on to them? Are you hoarding them for ammo to go back and forth, to go tit for tat? Or are you willing to have those conversations? Because I understand in relationships, me personally, what I've learned is if I don't express, or if I don't feel comfortable or safe to express how you've hurt me, do I really love you? You are supposed to be able to express how somebody has hurt you if you really love them. Because a lot of times we internalize a lot of things, and we think people have done things to us without looking at ourselves and see what we allowed in that relationship. What boundaries were we lacking in that relationship? What things that we need to implement? What structures and disciplines and routines were we ignoring that allowed that in our space? Because I believe that people show up in a certain way based off what season you're in your life. And that is why astrology is such a good tool to understand your I am and who you are, because you're more than just your ego and your sun sign. So based off that rising sign, it talks about what work that looked like for you. So if you're Aries rising, you were working in the first house. If you are a Taurus rising, you were working in that 12th house. The first house, once again, is that I am. The 12th house is your spiritual house. The 12th house is that subconscious house, your dreams, how you rest, That's Taurus energy. If you are a Gemini rising, you're working in the 11th house. What in your friendships and your network were coming up? What chaos was happening in your network that was showing you who you are? Same thing with Cancer rising. You are working in the 10th house, your career, your where you work, your reputation. What does people say about you? What in your workplace? What frictions did you have in the office space or in your job or your career that reflect the things that you no longer want to internalize in your I am? And so on and so on. It goes in order. Cancer is 10th house. Ninth house is for Leo rising. That's your travel. That is your belief systems. That is your how you learn and internalize information. That's the house of Sagittarius. The 8th house for Virgo was your more subconscious, but it's also in regards to death. It's ruled by Scorpio. In regards to inheritance, other people money. What burdens were you holding on with other people money as a Virgo rising? So I don't want to go too deep, but you can go in order and kind of understand those placements of those houses. But I really want us to focus more so on this new moon energy that's happening on Friday, because this is a very great energy that's about to happen for us if we focus our intentions in the right space. So if y'all got any questions, feel free to ask. But I do want to go into that as well too, and I'm gonna go through all the houses for that, and we can break that down and have a conversation about it.
Okay. What we're gonna say, Ray, before she goes into it, because I'm receiving tonight.
I wanted to, before we go into the new moon that's happening into Scorpio, maybe explain a little bit more about Scorpio energy, because I always find it interesting that Scorpio is one of the few signs that's actually ruled by 2 planets. And how does that work, that Mars-Pluto connection in developing of Scorpio energy? Because we all have some type of house or some type of planet that falls within the Scorpio placement. So if we understand that energy, we can better understand how to master it. So before you go into the new moon that's going to happen in Scorpio, can you just give us a little rundown on Scorpio energy?
Absolutely. So Scorpio energy is the sensual, sexy. It is the more it's that passion. It's ruled by Mars. So in the Mars aspect, it's how you do life. It's your drive. So your Mars sign is what drives you. Okay. And if you're a Scorpio sun, you're already naturally driven, or Scorpio rising, you have a drive from your past life, or in your moon sign, you're more driven through your emotions and your psychic work. If you have a Scorpio moon, you're got psychic abilities. If you're a Scorpio sun, psychic abilities as well too, but more so when it comes down to your life and your ego and how you utilize that psychic energy, because you can abuse your power. That's what's happening with Diddy right now. Okay. And he's also a Pisces moon. We don't talk about that. And so, and then you have the rising sign is more so of the inheritance. It's that energy that you are inherited with. You may have a gift or something from the past life, or somebody, your ancestor, that you carry that energy from your past life into this life. And it's very important to know where that Scorpio energy is placed. Scorpio energy is also ruled by Pluto, which is more so of the death energy, the transformative energy. It separates the generations. Scorpio energy is like, so we are the Pluto and Scorpio generation. Anybody born in 1984 to 1996, we are the Pluto and Scorpio generation. So that's why we're into the occult knowledge. That's why we're into esoteric sciences. That's why we're the ones that we ain't afraid of death. We talk about death. We are talking about ancestral worship. We are connecting those things in this time, okay? And it's very sacred. So Scorpio energy is all about sacredcy. Peace and love. And I got 2 Scorpios who just came in. Speaking peace and love, Velvet. Peace and love, Teflon. The Capricorn is in the building. Hey, y'all. Thank y'all for watching. So that Scorpio energy in this Mars essence is more so, like I said, transformative. It's what our generation is here to transform in this in this lifetime. What are we here? And that's why we got the R. Kelly situation, the Diddy situation, when it comes down to how we look at sex, how we look at intimacy. What's your question? Yep.
Relationship views, and I'm glad that you mentioned that, because Prince posed a question. Good night, Prince. Good night, Ace. He said, how do we apply it in our, and as before you started to break it down, he posed a question, how do we apply it how to apply the energy in our life. And I think you're saying that right now. One, breaking from those old quote unquote norms and embracing this level of truth with the planet and energy that we were born under in the years that you stated.
Yes.
Because I will say that, but those years that you stated, if you look at the generation of people from that birth time, I was born in 96, so I'm that cutoff frame. And you see the mindset, you see the paradigm shift. You definitely see I'm not following necessarily the beliefs and the steps of my father and grandfather.
Yes.
But
we are, we the generation that like we are not our ancestors. We will beat your motherfucking ass and we will do the juju work. We doing it. We not fucking around. This generation is not fucking around.
I think the old school revived. It's the old school revived. But go ahead, Rain.
The stuff that our parents and grandparents were suppressed to do. All of that shit sexually that we went through. I mean, come on now, the butt breaking, the rape, the sexual traumas, the stuff. Remember that trauma lives in our wombs. So if we don't understand sex, and I ain't gonna lie, it was a post that I posted not too long ago, and it was like 5th graders was learning sex education, and I ain't gonna lie, I cringed a little bit, and that was really my trauma speaking. I was like, oh, should we be talking about this stuff? But I'm like, these kids do need to understand how this stuff works. Because a lot of our parents were shamed and guilted, and we have to be able to educate ourselves more about our sensual and sexual selves and how we desire pleasure, because on the shadow side of that, it can get real ugly, it can get real perverted, it can get real we taking sovereignty away, especially with the feminist energy, feminist movement, when it comes to owning our bodies and things of that nature. Sex is how we all got here. Period. Shout out to Safe Space Teflon with the sex talk. Y'all should follow her as well too. If y'all on Instagram, she talks about that. She goes into that realm deeper. And so just a special shout out to Teflon. And so we have to have
something too.
What was that?
Rain wanted
to
say something
to make a comment.
Go to the next level because I tell you about to go up.
There's a intensity and a truthfulness that comes from people that are ruled by Scorpio energy. And that's one thing I want to understand and mindsets. Some of us are still, stuck in that old programming. So would this be a moon that we could utilize to help break some of these limitations and break some of these generational traumas and break some of these constraining mindsets if we're supposed to be the generation, because most of us are, but some of us may not be there yet, to help boost more people stepping into this Scorpio-like energy.
Yes. So remember, Scorpio energy and Pluto energy is also about taboos. So it rules over the taboos that we have in the generation as the Scorpio generation. So we are breaking some of those taboos. And we're understanding our own taboos. Okay, so like I said, Scorpio energy, Pluto energy is about the taboos. What's taboo for me may not be taboo for you, and what's taboo for you may not be. So that's why understanding your chart, understanding these placements, understanding how to use your sex energy, because sex is creation. Okay, and that don't even just mean copulating. It also just means whatever you're creating. It is a sex thing. Even in astrology, you have what you call a sextile. When the planets are sextiling in your chart, it's creating something. What are you creating? What is the intentions? What is the root of that? And in order to apply that information, you have the intensity that comes with it is being able to identify your wounds, being able to identify the intensity in your body, the stress in your body. As every zodiac sign rules over a body part. You have to understand those things, and Scorpio rules over the sexual the sexual organs. So understanding those things instead of being childish about the conversation and having the proper term, we really all going back into sex education. That's why I'm telling y'all, follow my girl Teflon Spliff. She really goes into that and talks. She has a podcast and everything that talks about it. It's so important. And that's why you have more of us talking about sex more prevalently, even on the shadow side. I'm sorry.
It's funny that you mentioned this, because when we first reality and sexuality, And as you were talking, my uncomfortability, like my level of was right. That was such an indicator to that as much as I feel like
you're breaking up, mamas.
Yeah, Rain, I don't know if your Wi-Fi.
Love.
And that's like me needing to tap into.
Scorpio in the building. Diamond is a Scorpio as well too. What was that, babe? You said what?
Your video was breaking up, Rain. I don't know if
are you hearing me?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Okay, so I'll just say that. Okay, I was saying that, sometimes as we talk about this Scorpio energy and being more of a mirror, I realize within this very conversation that we're having right now that I too have a lot of my own taboos and restrictions around, feeling comfortable with the notion of sex.
So don't you have a Taurus? Don't you also have Taurus placements in your chart as well too, Rain? Is it your rising?
I'm a Taurus rising. Yeah.
Yep, I remember that. Okay, so that's your opposite sign. I can't wait to get into that. So your rising sign determines what house you're working in, so you can know what theme you're working in personally. So a lot of us don't know our rising signs, but when you know your rising sign, get to work, because that is what's helping you understand what aspect of your life you're working in. Your rising sign is Taurus. That's your opposite. The opposite sign of Scorpio is Taurus. So Taurus is more so about the debaucheries and the sensory things in life as well too, but also it's not as I'm gonna say it's sacred as well with Scorpio, just as Scorpio is, but that also ties into the things that you gain physically. Remember, Scorpio also comes with a level of inheritance. When people die, if you have an ego death, when things change, there's an inheritance that come with it. There's something to create with that energy. You just have to be able to identify what it is that you are transforming, what is changing in your life, and acknowledge the intensities. A lot of people who have Scorpio energy just naturally just bottles that shit up. If you are a fixed sign in general, you are that's Taurus, that's Leo, that's a Scorpio, and that's Aquarius. Those fixed signs that holds on to that energy. That's why those signs are more stubborn, right? More fixed. They are the fixed signs of the zodiac. So that's also a way to look at it, perception wise. A lot of Tauruses, they relieve their tensions and stress through sex, but it has to be safe. If you have not had safe conversations with your parents around that, if you've had trauma surrounding that, how are you releasing if you don't know that about yourself? And that's that's a taboo that's put over you because it was taboo in your household, but you may be breaking through from that.
Who were you talking? You talking some truth, because
talking a lot of truth.
My ex is a Taurus.
Yeah.
And we could have about to burn the house down argument. Mm-hmm. And 30 minutes later, they want to huck and buck.
Yes, that's what they do. They love that.
That's strange. Yes, this is on love.
I shared something, or I will share it on my stories if I haven't. But it was I can't think of his name. He's also a awesome astrologer, and he breaks it down.
1 second, Omishade. Travis, everyone coming in, she's now getting started. She's going to go through all the signs. So Rain and I are not going to interrupt her so that everyone can get through tonight and she can hear everyone tonight. Everyone is able to hear her and get some insight for their signs. So I want to maximize, because she came suited and booted today, boy. You understand? So as she's going through, she's now cracking the door open. As she's going through, you guys can post your questions. She has not gone into any details about any of the signs. We literally just opened the door.
But I will. We're gonna we can take the next 15, 20 minutes to do so.
Yeah. We'll build segmenting into the signs as she states interesting things to build bridges as she's going through, so you guys can process. That's how we're gonna work it out. I'm excited, y'all. Y'all sound like y'all are ready.
So
even though it's like, yes, Taurus, LOL. I can't. Y'all are something else.
When she was talking about Taurus, I was like, as a Taurus rising, I definitely identify with a lot of what you're saying. For me, sex is more of a form of communication. I talk through sex. Like if whatever I'm feeling, I feel like I communicate that best through having sexual intercourse. So I definitely resonate with that fact
And
about Taurus.
And that's how you can manifest, sis. That is your most potent way. I'm not saying there's not other ways, but in this season, that is the most potent way to manifest. That's how we got here, right? Mm-hmm. So if you can do that during that, you have to find it safe. You have to have safe spaces to do so, because Taurus energy is about the physical aspect, the physical inheritance that you build through it. And Scorpio is about the spiritual after death, what you inherit afterwards. That turns into a, that's why when people die, people are fighting over assets. Okay. It's the same kind of intensity that goes with the sex. Of a Taurus ain't, getting massages and having that physical touch, especially if they have Gemini placements, because Gemini rules over the physical touch. They are over that as well too. So if they're not getting that, you can be tense. You can be blocking your manifestations just by not receiving that type of pleasure in your life. So
wow. Okay.
So we're gonna talk about Taurus and what house you're working in as a Taurus rising. That's the second sign. So I do want to go in order. I did write some notes, so I want to keep it. I'm gonna say what the notes are and what I wrote down, and then we can build on that for a few minutes, and then answer questions, and then move on to the next sign. So I hope you guys got your pens, your notebooks. I hope you guys got your tea, your blunt.
I'm gonna have in the after these segments at some point, Omishade, send me your Cash App so I can also include that in the comments as well.
Hey, thank you. Gratitude.
Share some love with our guests tonight. Share the love with great love. Share the live, because it's about sharing information. Knowledge is power, and this is the wealth.
Yes,
Ashe, let's get into it, Omishade. It's on you, darling.
Okay, can y'all still hear and see me right now?
We're here and see you well.
Okay, cool. Okay, I'm about to do something really fast before I get started. Hold on one second. Hold on before I get started. And I just want to give gratitude to my ancestors for allowing me to be here at this time, to be able to share this information and allowing me to just be the vessel to share this vital information for the tribe, for the community, so that we can better manifest a better reality for ourselves as a collective. There's so many different ways to divine, and we have so many tools, esoteric tools that we can use to identify and better understand ourselves, the people around us, and the experiences that we're having in our lives as well too. All right, so hold on, wrong person. God damn it. Okay, I hate when people call me.
What I do when I get on live, I learn to put my phone on.
I definitely should have did do not disturb.
So no call will interrupt.
Even if I'm on call me when I'm fucking live. And look, that's my intensity coming in. I'm like,
Just take a breath.
I'm live. Why y'all it's like damn. And so as a Virgo moon, my love language is is mindfulness. That's just something to put out there, and that's just something, a way of understanding and identifying what you desire in your life too. Because Scorpio energy is also about desire, your deepest desire. Not only how you do life, but what drives you. What desires do you have that drives you? And I'm also gonna share on your page, Elra, I just want to share with my people so they can know. I did also tag your page so people can follow you as well too.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. And Saint Rain, are we following each other on Facebook?
No, we're not.
Okay, I definitely want to be able to follow you on Facebook and be friends with you on Facebook, so I can also tag you as well too.
When she posts her information, you guys definitely flood her, follow her social media, because she's posting on a consistent basis throughout the week. So you can continuously get your astrological updates and insight from the astral weather woman, Omishade, anytime through the week. She's consistent with it. I can go. You see me and Ray trying to be good with our Wednesdays. We slacked off, y'all, but we coming back strong.
When y'all say the chaos was chaos for that last eclipse, that's why I took a break. And I'm gonna talk about that too, even as a Sag rising, and why it's so important for me to really rest right now. But yeah, we're gonna get into it. So I'm sharing this right now, and all right, I'm back. So I do want to once again, like I said, acknowledge the ancestors and give thanks and gratitude for you guys to allow me to be able to share this information on your platform. And those of you guys who are here watching, like I said, please keep your questions, write your questions down. I'm more than happy to assist you. If you would like a deeper reading with me, you can inbox me. I'll be more than happy to help you. I do birth chart analysis. I also do tarot and oracle readings as well too. I consider myself like a spiritual coach. I consider myself as a spiritual cheerleader, as a Sagittarius, because I'm gonna cheer you on and root you on in your transformation when you are diving deep, when you are in a space of transforming. And this information is so vital and so important. And I'm learning how to delegate. I didn't go live because I'm learning how to follow my spirit. I'm working in the 12th house as a Sag rising, which is the house of Pisces. So I'm resting. So the fact that you invited me on this live and I haven't been able to go live on my own, because I'm not in a space to. So this invite actually created the space for me to do both, because now I can share with my network and people. It's all a community. We can do this. I don't have to do this alone. And I just celebrated 21 years that my mother transitioned on Saturday. That's inheritance, and I create rituals to be able to help me psychologically. I had a beautiful time on Saturday. I had 2 beautiful brothers. I want to safely call them like my brother husbands, but we are building a community, and they literally was like, "What do you want?" I said, "I just want to show up and not do a lot of shit. I don't want to dictate. I really want to be in my feminine essence. I don't want to have to do all the things. Like, as a Sagittarius, I know I'm independent. I know I can do this shit on my own, but that's ego. So how do I communicate with my tribe and my people to allow them to help me? How do I build a more intimate connection with allowing people to serve me just as much as I serve everybody else? When I say they did a beautiful setup with the food, shout out to Chef Prep, shout out to Infinite Cane. They came up, they showed out. I have so many beautiful faces in here that has been supporting me over the past 10 years of this journey as I've been healing and mourning the loss of my mother, because grief and healing through grief is not linear. Okay, it takes time. And that's also something that people who are experiencing any death type energy with the Scorpio energy, this is the season of death. Tomorrow is the Day of the Dead. So we have Hoodoo Heritage Month. So this information is really vital in understanding how you can ritualize your life based off of the information within your birth chart. So please take this information. Do not take it with a grain of salt. Write the things down that comes up for you and explore those things safely with these practitioners here, and such as myself. We are here to help you as a community. All right. So we're going to get started with Aries energy, okay? So Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, which is the I am of the zodiac. So Aries, if you are an Aries rising or Aries sun, you will be, this energy is 8th house energy for you, okay? And if you are an Aries rising, you're working in the 8th house. The 8th house is the house of Scorpio, okay? It is about deep psyche work. This is about clearing any anxieties and past traumas or any powerful, and it's a powerful time to acknowledge and address your fears. So anything that you've been scared of, anything that's been like holding you back, this is a perfect time to gain your sovereignty back. Okay, making sure the resonance of your past baggage isn't spilling over into your future. This is a time to meditate on that. Really think about the stuff that's been coming up for you in this eclipse season. What does that baggage look like? What was a part of your I am that's like, okay, we don't want to carry this in. And these are the fears that came up for me. So think about those things. This is an energy about any debts, taxes, inheritance. This is a time to pay off debts. Okay. This is about other people's money. This is about saving money. This is about investing your money wisely. And the question is what feeling is driving your desires financially? Because this is all the second house and the eighth house is the money house. I feel like business is spiritual and spirituality is about business. At the end of the day, that's the best way to describe second house, eighth house energy, Taurus energy, Scorpio energy. Okay. So do you guys have any questions about this Aries energy or anything that I said? Anybody has an Aries rising? Just to ask before we move forward.
Nope, keep flowing. Nobody came with questions yet. Keep flowing.
So next is Taurus. So this is for you, Rain. You're working in the seventh house. Okay. And the seventh house is the house of relationships, your more business partnerships, your more serious relationships. Okay. This is about even marriage. Okay. Who you want to marry. Draw in more intimacy in your more serious partnerships. What does that look like for you? And what kind of energy and feeling do you want to experience in your relationships? You have to meditate on those things. That's what you need to be thinking about and conjuring in for this new moon energy. Create more intimacy and connection that you crave. Okay. What do you crave? So remember, Taurus energy is about, remember I said the sensories, the cravings. That's why y'all, if you're eating a lot, it's probably because, y'all are over the senses. So what do you want that to look like? I want my man to be okay with rubbing my feet when I have a long day. I want my man to be able to listen to me attentively. I want you have to create, what does that look like? What do you want that to look like? And how are you providing that to yourself so that you can call that energy in? It's even more powerful in drawing in that, because now you're setting the expectation of what you want in your love life, in your more serious relationships and partnerships. So this is the things that are more important. So healing in these relationships. So if you have partnerships and relationships, this is a powerful time to think about the healing, not actually go do it. You ain't got to go do no Reiki work. You ain't got to go this is about thinking about it, meditating on it before acting on those desires. And probably within the next 6 months, you're going to see some difference if you're doing the work.
I just have to say, for anybody who ever doubts that astrology isn't real, this right here that you said is confirmation for me. I've been having this exact conversation over and over and over. And if you know what's been going on in my personal life, like, you hit the nail on the head. So astrology really does predictate our life and influence so much of our everyday existence. Continue flowing.
Yes, indeed. Ashe. I'm glad you received, honey. So we want to move on to Gemini rising. If you are a Gemini rising, you are working in the sixth house. The sixth house is about the mental health. It's your routines, your rituals. It's also the house of your relationship with your pets, your pet companions, and having a emotional support animal, top tier. What? If you've been dealing with emotional stuff, this is the time to think about manifesting that. Maybe you want to leave room for pets in your house. But this is more so about your health routines and your work routines. The changes that you desire in your work life. What does that look like? What meaning do you want to create in your daily routine? What more meaningful things do you want to add into your life? Doing the emotional and psychological work can help you achieve your day-to-day work habits. So saying affirmations every day, making sure that you are drinking more water every day, maybe having some trail mix instead of those chips, talking to certain people who put you in a mental space. Those things matter, those little small things, because Gemini, y'all be wanting to go full speed ahead with things. This is the time to actually slow down and make those physical health changes. Detoxing. So they say when you cleanse your gut, you're cleansing the mind. When you cleanse the gut, you're cleansing the mind. So doing gut cleanses is really good for you during this time. If you haven't already initiated that. Changes are important, but it all starts with the mentality first. So a lot of times we want to go do, but we have to shift our mindset. We have to shift our perspectives and our perceptions. Getting readings, getting oracle readings, and things like that definitely help with those things as well too. But small baby steps is so important during this time. Okay. Any questions about Gemini rising or Gemini sun? Okay. So Cancer rising or Cancer sun. You're working in the 5th house. This is the house of recreational fun. This is your passion house. This is the house that you like, these are my hobbies, or this is the thing that I can do every day without getting paid for it. So you have a grand trine that's happening. So I want to talk about this grand trine with the water energy for a little bit, because we are getting into that. Right now we have Mars in Cancer. Right now we have the Sun in Scorpio. We have Pisces and Neptune. That is a powerful trine that's happening right now in the water signs. So a trine is when planets are in harmony because of the elements. So this is really an abundant time, especially if you have the degrees if any placements in Cancer are 5 degrees and 15 degrees, you will feel this energy way more abundantly. Okay. It's a time to or in the ending degrees, also like in the 25 to 29 degrees or 26 to 29 degrees, you will feel that grand trine energy as well too. So this is a great time to connect with what you are deeply passionate about, and what you love. Okay, what do you crave more in your life that brings you joy? Long-term goals on something you've learned or that you want to teach. What do you want to teach? What can you teach, or what do you want to learn? Maybe you want to go back to school. But this is, and it has to bring you joy though. That's the one thing about it. These are long-term goals on something that you're learning and teaching. And then this is also if you're craving in more intimacy in your life as well too, and more pleasure, because this is recreational fun. This is also your romance and dating house too. So if you want something more long-term, or you've been dating somebody, maybe you're like, I can see myself having fun with this person, or I can see this is the person that I can have a baby with. Because remember, this is Cancer energy. And that water trine, if you're trying to get pregnant during this time, you got some Cancer placements, it's a good time for it if that's what you want to do. Okay. So that's for Cancer rising, Cancer sun. If anybody got any questions about that, feel free to ask. But I'm gonna move on to the Leo rising and the Leo sun. So you're working in the 4th house. The 4th house is about your home life. The house which the 4th house ties into like your relationship with your parents, family, property, real estate. Okay, what do you want to come home to? What do you want your feng shui in your house to look like? How do you want to feel when you come home? If you are looking to rent a home or even get a mortgage or buy a house, this is good energy for you during this time. What do you desire your private life to look like? As a Leo energy, you always shining, you always out there, you're always, maybe you have the star in your life, in within your relationships, your job, whatever. But what that private life, that intimate life, actually is what recharges you to be out in the real world. So what do you want that to look like? That's important. Okay, draw in your desires for your sanctuary space. What do you want your sanctuary space to look like? Okay. It says family relationship healing. This is about deepening your connection with your family and also with your parents. Maybe you got some father, mama wounds, daddy wounds. This may be a time to initiate conversations and get more intimate with those people and with your family or with your parents. And then this is also, if are you manifesting a home? We talked about that. And then what do you want it to feel like once again? What do you want those relationships to feel like? You want to be able to have a more open relationship and conversation with your parents. Start thinking about tools and things that can help you initiate those things, because it's going to be important in how you do life. Okay. Moving forward to the Virgo rising.
One second. Mm-hmm. As you're going through, I keep hearing this repeating theme.
Because it's about the Scorpio. It's about intimacy. It's about intimacy.
Not just that, but I keep hearing also this repeating theme of like us getting to this space. And you haven't even reached my side. I'm all the way at the end. But so far, what I'm hearing is this general theme of the individual getting back to self and kind of coming out of this shell. I'm seeing like this butterfly kind of come out of its cocoon.
So
whenever you need to go through this rebirth and embrace self, you got to go through that process.
It's funny that you mentioned butterflies. Yes, we are in our cocoons in Scorpio season. That's why we have to get the inner work done. And in the first, we just talked about the first. We talked about some of the ending houses, but between the first and like fourth house, that is all about home life. That's all about the foundation of your life. So it is, those signs is definitely more prevalent. It's gonna, even between, we're about to get into the third, second, and first house, but it's based off that rising sign. If your rising sign is in that placement, that's the house that you're working in, and that's the house you should be more focused on manifesting things, or you already are. Kind of like Rain said, she's a Taurus, and that's what's been coming up for her. So that's really, so Scorpio energy on the shadow side can be very secretive, very private, but because we're in Scorpio season in the sun highlights things. Scorpio is the star of the show. So of course, Leo that's ruled by the sun is like, yeah, show me off. But Scorpio is more so like, it's those deep things that's being highlighted, in the home life, in intimate life, in self-life. The intimacy with self creates the reality outside of you. So that's why you keep hearing that theme for sure. It's definitely intimacy is the theme of this whole analysis.
Okay. Now you said you're on to Virgo. Sounding good to me.
So if you're a Virgo rising, or Virgo sun, you're working in that third house energy of communication and community. You want to call in deep intimacy during this time. And what does your connection in your conversations with your community look like? What do you want your community to look like? Are you expressing your needs and desires? Are you being vulnerable with the people in your community about what you need? And what type of conversations are you initiating and having to be able to do so? It's like, this is also, what do you desire your day-to-day connections to look like? So what do you want that community to look like? Who do you want to talk to? When you get up every day, do you say, what neighbor are you saying hey to? Or what, when you work in your job, your work life, your job is your community too. A lot of people don't understand that. People just think they go to work just to be a robot. But no, you drawing in energy from the people that's in them cubicles, that's your community. Those are the people who you're communicating with and you're functioning with, whether you like it or not. And if you don't like it, that's something, if it's coming up for you, that's when you need to figure out, what do you want that community to look like? Be honest with yourself outside of the wanting to chase after money and make it look perfect. Because Virgo have that thing where it's like, I have to have this job and these jobs check off the boxes, but are you happy there? This is about removing vanity. Most of the earth signs battle with vanity alongside with Venus energy too. So the earth signs and the Venus signs can be the most vain signs of the zodiac. Okay. So, but it also is it's a good thing in the same breath as well too, because y'all want things to look good. Y'all want things to be presentable, but this is also about a time that maybe you want to vlog or blog about news, about whatever news and information that you want to share. What information are you bringing to the table in your community? How are you sharing that wisdom in your community if you want that back? If you want resources, you got to be resourceful too, okay? So you can share more about your burdens with your intimate partners. So if you're going through some shit, Virgo, rising and sun, and you don't feel comfortable telling your partner, like, okay, this load is heavy. Like, is that really your partner? Okay. You should be able to lay those burdens down. Or do you have an issue around trust? Because that's also what Scorpio energy is about. That shit is going to be highlighted. It's going to be highlighted. But this is also because third house is ruled by Gemini. You may be thinking about purchasing a new vehicle, but it cannot be for vanity reasons. I literally have a sister. She's a Virgo with a Scorpio rising. Her car went down on her. She's purchasing a new car. Like, real shit. So make sure that it's good for function, not vanity. Okay? Because she had a little Lexus. The Toyota Lexus was dope. It was pretty cars, but how functional. But it gave her a good 5-year, 6-year run. But next time it's like, We gotta have something functional. We gotta have something that's, you know, what is it gonna be reliable for you? Not for vanity reasons. Not less vanity, more functional. And that's also within your community that you're searching for as well too. I know that was a little winded for Virgo. I got a Virgo moon, so I probably needed that. Because I definitely need a car.
That was good information.
You was flowing.
Flow, darling. That was good information. Flow.
Gotta break past the fourth
and
wall.
sure people are receiving.
And as a Virgo sun, I think it's more so not for me. It's not really vanity, but that constant search for perfection, and perfection is an illusion.
Perfection
so it's always like you want better. You want to be seen as better. You want to have this perfectly crafted image, and that's just not reality.
It's not.
So Virgo is gonna have a different perception of you.
So Virgo is the opposite of Pisces. So Pisces is more of the spiritual, and Virgo is more of the practical. Pisces is more willing to do all the dirty work to get to the practical than the Virgo is. You would think it would be the opposite. Virgo be in the clouds, be dreaming a lot of times because they're seeking perfection. It's crazy how everybody
tell the truth. Yes, tell the truth for shame the devil.
It's crazy because that's the opposite energy. But it's like Pisces is more so like I've been through these cycles, so I know what that shit is gonna look like. I did go through the spiritual warfare to understand that baby, this ain't practical. So that's to talk about that axis. But to move forward to Libra rising and Libra sun, you guys are working in the second house. That's the money house. Okay. Hey, this is more exciting. This is probably the most exciting placement to have right now as a Libra rising. Think about money manifestations, money affirmations, drawing in money. Change your money mindset. Change that broke mentality. Make a plan to create a foundation to create wealth at this time. Call in your currency. Make changes in your work habits by saving money or doing money affirmations, and reflect on your relationships with money to create better spending habits. Because Libras can be vain too. Y'all be spending all this money on this vain ass shit. When you can really be investing this money into something different. Where's your money going? What is your relationship with money? Is your relationship with money connected to your emotions? It is. So if you've been emotionally eating, and you know, especially if you got Taurus in it, if you got them earth energies and you a Libra, watch out. Because you could be like, why is this broken? But I'm going on vacation and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. Baby, focus on the priorities. Focus on what's important. Focus on how you want to draw that money into yourself so you can know what to do with it, so it can maximize, so it can make room for you. I'm not saying that you are not deserving of nice things, but this is a time to really see where your money been going. So all of Uber Eats, that money could have been your LLC, okay? All the weed you've been smoking, that could have been money towards on a new car note or something practical that you need in your life. Like this is, and you can call in the money. You can call in the money with this energy. So like I said, when you got that Venus energy, it's so easy to be vain. It's so easy to be like, oh, if I'm not getting materialistic things, then this is not gonna, no. What about the practical things? Put your money in the right places, okay? It's kind of like the put your money where your mouth is, okay? Type of energy. It may be time to invest. And if you missing out on investments because you worried about other shit, it's like, hey, what's up, Lawrence? She said, why did I just come in when you were going off about the weed? Well, message, peace and love. What's up, Pretty Pothead Association? What's up, Lauren? Okay, so yeah, because it's real. That Venus, that's that Taurus energy and that Libra energy. We're on Libra, but if your Venus energy, Venus ruled energy, and you got Libra placements, that Taurus energy or any earth sign energy, just be mindful where you're putting your money during this time. What's up, Rain?
I'm a Taurus rising, Virgo sun, Libra moon. So like that Taurus, that Venus energy and the propensity to make very not logical decisions when it comes to money, because money comes so easily.
Yes,
I feel like with Venus energy, like money just comes to you. So you always think, well, it's always gonna just be there. You know,
but it can put a hindrance on your relationships too. Like It could be some shit. So it could be people around you suffering who can be an asset to you, and that money could be going to that person. Or that's like, if we gonna be real community around here, like we gotta really think about building. We gotta build like a boss for real. We can't, you know, if you fuck with people and you love people, like me, I'm the type of person that's like, look. And I could be naive with that. So that's the opposite. It's crazy. I could be naive. The money could come in and I would give it all away and say, fuck myself. And it's a balance. So that's the self-martyrdom. Or you could be the person where you can call in all this abundance easily, but you put it all on yourself. But it's like, where's that shit? Where is it growing? Where is it? How does it grow? Where is it? Where are you investing your money? You gotta plant your seeds in the right spaces. So your energy and your emotional state is so your emotions is the fuel to the vehicle of your manifestations. So your emotional state. So if you are attaching to things emotionally, that's something to look at. But call in that money for yourself. Call it in. It's because it's there. A good affirmation to say is, I am a good steward over my finances. I am a great steward over my finances. So when you keep saying that, that means you're going to start making more wiser choices about where your money is going. Okay, so we're going to move on to Scorpio. Woo woo, happy birthday, Scorpios. What's up, y'all? I hope y'all still here rocking with me. If you're a Scorpio, if you got Scorpio, sun, moon, or rising. Okay, if you're a rising sign Scorpio, you are working in the first house, baby. That's the I am. The first house is the house of Aries. It's all about you. You shining. The moon and the sun is shining the lights on your shadow and on your light side, okay? Which is a great thing. Whatever you want to manifest, it's yours. This is a cosmic reset for you. You are a center stage right now. If you want better health, if you want to channel what you are passionate about, what do you want people to think of you? What do you want people to think of you in this lifetime? Okay. How do you want to feel in this lifetime? Whatever you're manifesting will be long lasting during this time. This is a portal energy for y'all. When you're a Scorpio rising, yo, you can manifest whatever it is you want. Bring it in, call it in. Okay. That skepticism energy, it ain't useful during this time. Having trust issues only reflect the trust that you don't have within yourself. If you are being paranoid, that means you probably need to clear up some karma. You need to clear up some karma. What do you need to apologize for? What do you need to be transparent about? Because if you're feeling weird in this energy with Scorpio energy, I don't know what to tell you. I think that's more so you are not doing the shadow work for real. You ain't doing the shadow work for real. And the thing is that it's hard for Scorpios to trust and feel safe all the time in certain spaces, right? That's something that it can be very difficult for Scorpios to open up about certain things and their desires to people. But hey, life is on y'all ass right now, Scorpio. And right now, as y'all can see what's happening with the Diddy Woo Wop, okay? That is a perfect example of a person who just don't want to do the fucking shadow work and thought you could get away with all that shit. And when you could take the sovereignty away from people around you by manipulating them, by abusing your power, okay? Abusing your influence, what? You gonna get your ass spanked for shit like that. So, Scorpios, you're powerful. You have the energy to be able to puppet master shit around you. Manipulation is not always a bad thing, but it's about the intentions behind that manipulation. And you won't know the intentions of that until you do your own fucking shadow work. Until you realize, okay, what are my demons? What is the darkness? What is not being, you have to go deeper into that. When stuff is coming up, don't be dismissive. Don't try to find something else to do because you got the power to. That shit gonna come right back around. Remember, Scorpio energy and Pluto energy, Mars energy, that shit is quick karma. It's like Saturn energy is more so like, oh, I'm gonna get your ass. It may not hurt now, but you see how 30 years later, what Diddy is dealing with, this was in the 90s that this shit got initiated, right? So now it's coming back around. Saturn is in Pisces. The man moon is in Pisces. He's a Scorpio.
I did not know that. You're schooling me today. Wow.
So that's why all of this shit is coming out. You get exposed. I want to know what the fuck's gonna come out about Kamala Harris, but that's a whole nother topic. But because I've been looking into a lot of this stuff, and the fall of Rome is happening again. Okay, Hollywood is being crushed down. All of that, using that power, using sexuality to control people. Oh no, his moon is in Virgo. You're right. I'm sorry. You're right. Moon is in Virgo. Scratch that. It's not Pisces. You're right. Moon is in Virgo.
I did not know that at all.
Thank you for that correction. Thank you for that correction. But even still, this nigga was doing routines and rituals. That's still the opposite sign of Neptune energy is still Virgo. Nigga, we see your rap sheet. We see your patterns. At the end of the day, like, we see it. There's no hiding away from it. You feel me? There's no running away from that. And I actually have empathy for him because I know he ain't the top honcho on this shit. You know what I'm saying? It's so much more that needs to be exposed. And we're in the age of information. So it's a lot of information being thrown out there. So we got to be able to decipher with our intuition. And not with our instincts. A lot of people who still have the mentality of, oh, I want to make it, baby, you went for a rude awakening. You were made in the womb. So if you let somebody sell you a dream like that, that's also some accountability on the other side as well too, on the community. Because even with the R. Kelly situation, a lot of the parents were selling their children. A lot of people were giving their children. A lot of people were selling their children for fame, for power, for influence. And that's also what Scorpio energy rules over as well, too. All right? So moving forward to Sagittarius. So if you're a Sagittarius rising or sun, you're working in the 12th house. I love this for us.
I love it. Keep going.
I love this for us. 12th house energy is about rest, reset, and letting go. Y'all, I've been sleeping. I was just telling my boo earlier. I was like, gee, I'm in such a privileged space. Like, I'm being put the fuck up. My Virgo moon got me put the fuck up. Like, put the fuck up. Real life. Like, you have to rest. You have to sleep. You have to dream. Astral projecting. We're Sagittarius. We're not only travelers in the physical. We're travelers in the spiritual as well too.
Spiritual
realm. Set intentions around resting from all the hard work that you've been doing. Sagittarius will be go, gallop. Okay, we the only motherfucker with a weapon in our hands. We can put our weapons down because we've created the safe space for ourselves to be. What does resting and doing nothing feels like? Talking to a Sagittarius with a Virgo moon. Oh, I'm learning. That's why Saturday they was on my ass. They was like, no, sit down. Why are you no, everybody was on my ass. Why are you want some wine? You want some water? You want what? I was being served. That was a reflection of the way that I served my community in real life. I believe that. I believe I deserved every piece of that. 21 years of shadow work around.
That's a word.
Losing my mother. Bro, can nobody tell me shit when it comes down to the spiritual inheritance? As a Vedic Scorpio, you know, nobody can tell me anything when it comes down to that. But they did tell me to sit my black ass down. They did tell me to rest. They did tell me to kick my feet up. They did tell me to allow things to happen. It also was a practice of me speaking up about what I actually want, because people don't understand the reason why you not manifesting what it is that you want, because you really ain't got to the deepest root of the desires. You only speaking your superficial vein of wants and desires. And Scorpio gonna strip that shit about you. It's the deep desires. It ain't just the, oh, I want a new car. Oh, I just want somebody to worship me. Oh, I just want a job where I just feel, no, it's about what is the deepest desires? What do you really want on the inside? And that challenged me. I was like, damn, if you don't know what you want, how do you know what you're manifesting? How do you know? And like I said, sometimes we do that vainly. And lastly, being on the go all the time is not in this season, baby. Let go of what's not serving you. Oh my God. Let go of what's not serving you. If it ain't serving your highest good, if it's a relationship, if it's a job, whatever the fuck, be okay with letting that shit go with no remorse. This is the time where, as a Sagittarius, I'm like, bitch, I will burn the bridge with you on it. I said what I said. Repeating cycles and patterns, let go. Set intentions from habits that no longer serves you. So if it's the eating habits, if it's addictions, if it's psychological things, that's why resting and sleeping, allowing that stuff to come up for you is so important. Sag, sun, and rising. Okay, moving on to Capricorn. Capricorn, you're working in the 11th house. The 11th house is about friendships, relationships, your network, social media. This is about deepening relationships with your friends, the people you love to be around by choice. If you need to call in a new social group that are more loyal, do so. Be around people who provide loyalty. Release superficial relationships. Okay? And deepening the relationship with the more loyal friends in your life. Set some intentions around starting or joining a social club. So you may want to join a sorority or fraternity, or you may have some sacred group that you're joining, some kind of whatever. Maybe it's a think tank. Maybe it's something. Maybe you want to do a book club. This is Capricorn rising. This is the time to be social. Capricorns, y'all are not real social people. Sometimes y'all are skeptics, kind of like Scorpios. Y'all are always at work or dealing with family. This is a time that you got to be more mature about who you choose around you. You got to deepen your connections around that so that you can have a social life. If it's always good and you don't have a social life, are you really, you desire to be more maybe influential, but how can you be more influential if you're not making more meaningful and intentional connections with the people around you? Seeing how if you have any friendship betrayals, let that shit go. And it may be a reflection of how you may be betraying yourself. But this is very straightforward for Capricorn. It's like, if you want to be social, be social. And it's straightforward, but it's a big thing for when you think about Capricorns. They don't socialize. What? Like the women, different. Most men, it's like, I work, provide for my family, or maybe I could be more secluded. But if it ain't about the money, if y'all don't want to come out, if it ain't about money, sometimes I can remember what I said about the earth signs. You can be a little bit more vain, chasing out the money. What one of my sisters that say so eloquently, shout out to Lotus. She says, your healing is not a hustle. When it's time for healing, you gotta look at other aspects of your life. Everything ain't always a gimmick or a come up scheme. Okay. Moving forward to the last two, we have Aquarius, 10th house energy. This is about career, public reputation, career goals and plans. What mark do you want to make on the world? What legacy do you want to leave for your people, for yourself, for your family? What are you passionate about? Okay, share that shit with the world. What do you want your legacy and finances to look like? Through your career and reputation, you may create a deep bond with someone who's in a position of power at this time. Set your intentions around your goals. Okay, if you know that you're around a person that a lifestyle may not fit what your legacy is reflecting, be mindful of what deals you make. If you see a person that's influential in a space that you may be highlighted in, or you want to know more and they have influence, be okay with creating that deep bond. You have the mental, intellectual property that they need, and they may have the money in the investment. They may have the money in the bank. But guess what's more? Your thoughts and your ideas is worth it, because Aquarius energy, we're in the age of Aquarius. All the information that you're storing in your head as an Aquarius, it's probably some very life-changing shit for our future. So get on it. Get on top of it. But this is more so, like I said, career. This is you functioning in your career aspect. This is you, fuck all the connections from your past and, all the trouble that you had and connected to old patterns and old wounds. Because Capricorn and Aquarius, you go through a lot of family wounds. But that's for a divine reason. You have to meet your celestial family so that you can really do this work on this earth in this here age of Aquarius, this humane work. and you went through some of those things with your family, so that now that you could be in a position of influence to change the world in a way that we've probably never seen before. Last but not least, and this is kind of another one of my faves too when I was doing the notes for this, is Pisces. So you guys are working in the 9th house. So I'm really coming from my heart with this one because the 9th house is ruled by Sagittarius. Okay. So Saturn is transiting in your first house, period. So it's been about abstracting lessons from your past and releasing old karmic debts. Taking responsibility from your past lessons. So you have to take responsibility for those past lessons, those things that you learned, those things that maybe went wrong, those things that didn't go in your favor or didn't go in the favor of others. But be responsible about letting go so that you don't bleed on other people. That's very important. So if you got some karmic shit you want to clear up, be mindful of who's around you. Make sure that they are practitioners that understand, that can uphold that, because you don't want to bleed on others because it could hurt them. What is this saying? I'm sorry, I wrote this fast. That's how I know. They say when you write fast and sloppy, it's like it's more of a scribe. It's more of a scribe.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna be the same after this work. You're not the person that people met you as before. You're just not that anymore. You are not that anymore. Reevaluating your moral compass at this time and learn something new. So important. It says if you want to go to school, do it. If you want to go back to school for something, it's the time. Expand on more esoteric practices. Where do you want to travel? Why do you want to escape from the world to go there? It's not a bad thing that you want to escape to go there if you understand why. And I'm speaking of Pisces. This ain't for everybody else, right? Because escapism for some people could be a little damaging, but when it comes to Pisces, the type of work y'all do, sometimes you do have to be in a different, or y'all can be so trapped into a loop, a psychological loop that you don't want to be in again. Okay? Plan that trip even if you don't have the money for it. 6 months from now, you will be in that place. And that's my message for all the 12 signs, working with your rising sign. I hope everybody got what they needed. I hope that the cosmic tea was cosmic-y.
Yes, darling.
Yes.
It was spot on. You spoke spot on. You spoke spot on, darling. You spoke very well. And I know Rain and myself definitely received from it. And I know if we receive from it, I'm quite sure the audience, even with the views, the responses actually tonight was actually one of our best nights with the number of views that consistently from what I see. I know what they show me on the platform is not the actual number, what it is fully, but at least what is being shown and the responses from what has been shown has actually been really well tonight, even though the comments are not as active, the views and everything. So I know the people were receiving tonight.
Yes.
So I like that. Sometimes people have to take a moment and receive. So that's how you know you were hitting. And the fact that people didn't come with questions, so it's also a clear sign that you covered what needed to be covered and you spoke directly to us. You know what I'm saying? Us, because you spoke to all of us inclusively, including yourself. So I know I received from it. And I'm very grateful for you sharing with tonight with us.
I'm so grateful to be able to do this. It's so full circle for me. I feel rested doing this. A lot of times I'm always anxious when I go live. A lot of times I'm like running around like a chicken with my head cut off. A lot of times it's like I feel the fire underneath my ass to share this information, but my Virgo moon be like, it's not right, it's not perfect. And sometimes I feel winded. I felt like I was breathing through this. Like I felt rested giving this information. I felt absolutely rested, and I'm grateful to the divine. I'm grateful to you guys for opening up this platform for me to be able to share this information, this vital information that is going to be so useful for us in the time to come.
And you spoke on something that was very vital too when you spoke the last time, especially for me as a Pisces. Oh, go ahead, Rain.
I just want to say thank you because you gave practical application. A lot of time when people talk about astrology, it's so abstract. It doesn't seem like something that you can use in your daily life. But the way that you broke it down for us, it was like, okay, no, this is the energy that is prevalent, and this is how you're going to implement it into your day-to-day point and what you should think about and how you should be flowing at this time. So thank you for making this moon, this transit, this portal understandable and relatable to the average person who may know nothing about astrology.
Yes.
Thank you for that.
Gratitude. Yes. I'm so happy that you guys were able to receive. And this has been a practice for me, you guys. This has been like Ricky knows. He knows. I used to be so self-conscious. He used to be like, just share the information and, don't overthink. He's always, don't overthink it. And I think what helps me with overthinking is preparing myself and practicing. We are all practitioners. So that's why the Scorpio new moon is so important with getting down to the root of your deepest desires, because I love this work. I can do this shit for free. That's why I am so abundant. That's why the people who come to me for readings, I connect with them genuinely. I'm not selling this shit. This is some shit. It's like you really paying for my time and energy. You can go get this information on your own, but I am the vessel that's giving, and that is the spiritual component that I honor within myself, because I'm not like everybody else. And
that's what I wanted to speak to. When you were speaking about for Pisces, like everything you said was spot on. Like when you talk about the space I'm in regarding the lessons, it's not the karmatic element, because I have good karma. So I even investigated and searched it. So I thank God for that. But when we talk about lessons, certain things that I've learned over the period of me evolving in my journey, things that I've taken from different teachers, things that I've encountered with my friends and certain communications, and learning how to be even a better teacher. You were there in the beginning stages of me being a teacher, in this work to evolving and constantly evolving. And so when you talk about planning the trip, as you guys have been seeing, those of you that are on my social media see that I've been traveling, and I do travel quite a bit. But again, already, like you said, planning the next trip is already in formation and planning. And for that reason, it's like you said, being able to find a space, not to escape from the reality, because that was a lesson that's been dealt with a long time already. But more so, I had to find the balance of knowing how to give back to me, because in the activity of going and doing, I was not creating a space and time enough to replenish myself. And
so really a space to retreat. It's really about having a space
and exploration. So that we can build for me creativity. Historically, spiritually, culturally, you understand this replenishment, but also the time of rest and rejuvenation and restoring my body physically, and also through the food and the things that I'm consuming. It's beneficial, and so I'm grateful for this. So everything you said, like I said, spot on, and I'm grateful for what's to come. Even I was able to say from the Aquarius, with Aquarius being my rising sign, and shifting again, the universe putting me in the corner. Me applying for jobs, changing resumes, going through all the proper channels, and Spirit still putting me in the corner and saying, you have to focus on this responsibility that we gave you, this mission that we gave you. And I'm very grateful for my support, Rain being my support, my friend circle, my students being a push and a support, so that I can continue to do and fulfill the calling that I'm meant to do and grow from that. And simply showing up and doing that and cultivating that, the Spirit is going to support me accordingly. And that's the balance of when you said spirit and business and spirit. And I understood from that. I have to grow in that understanding. So I thank you.
Ashe. My pleasure. My pleasure.
My pleasure.
It's
wonderful. Again, you guys, I'm going to post post Omi Sade's social media information. I don't know how you sent it to me. Send it to me if you didn't already.
I can send it to you. Yeah, I'm sorry.
And I'm gonna post it in the comments so that people can have it. Yeah. Okay. You can do that shit from. Yep. And I'll post it for you guys so that you guys can have it. And also I'll tag her in the comments as well so you guys can just simply click her name and her social media and retrieve it. But support her because you see she comes with the goods, the good stuff, the good stuff. Because this is her area, and you know it helps me because I'm good at what I do, and it takes time to cultivate the craft of being an astrologist, you know, and astronomy and getting into that sector. I didn't make the time to do that, and so I'm grateful to have someone associated and close to me, her, Rain, and my ace that does their thing with astrology. You know, so I'm grateful for them to help me and help all of us in that. So again, thank you all for viewing tonight. It is reaching that hour. That time has been well spent. Yes, I pray that you all receive, that you rest well, that you wake up receiving and reflecting on the words and the wisdom shared with you all, and that you apply it. She gave practical steps to apply it in our lives, to see it from face and real value. You know, and so applying it. So I pray peace upon you all, and love upon you all, and abundance upon you all, and doors open for everybody, and cash flow comes in for everybody, and good health and better health and a peace of mind comes in for everybody. Go ahead, Rain.
Just one last thing before we go. Please go and support her business, because she has showed us within this particular time and hour that she is knowledgeable and capable. Just the generalized messages that she sent were on point. So imagine if she had your birth chart in front of you, of her, to go and deep dive in it. So let's support in a real way. Yes, energy is great. All that kind of stuff is great. But those of us that's here that can afford it, you know, speak to her about getting this done, because God has actually provided us with the tools to better navigate life with ease. We don't have to keep putting our head against the wall when there's tools that God has placed before us to help us guide us through life. And she's the vessel that God has been able to share with us. So let's go support her, guys.
Thank you so much. And I just want to say, you guys, this has been, like I said, this has been a practice, right? This has been a practice, learning how to articulate this for myself, apply it for myself. And astrology is boring if you ain't in the field with it, if you ain't experiencing it, if you're not, you know, actually doing it and understanding how it affects you, even within your relationships. We're all in an orbit. So I am going to be doing also just an announcement, a short announcement. I will be starting a podcast. It's going to be called In the Stars Amongst the Legends. My goal is to...
I love that.
Yes, and it's gonna be like a segment. It's gonna be 2 segments. It's gonna be called Let's Orbit, when we talk about the person's chart and how they relate to things in their life, or people and situations in their lives. And then it's gonna be like the Cosmic Tea, where we kind of talk more about how astrology affects us as a whole. So I'm gonna always talk about the transits in these in this podcast. I'm really packaging this thing up, and I'm building a team around this, so that I can allow myself to be able to be helped, be served the way that I served my community for years with this information. Like, I remember being that astrology nerd in my friend group that was just so fixated on this and didn't know what to do with this information. And God and my ancestors reminded me to apply it for myself, show the people how to do it in your actual life. And then the way you communicate it will get better. And I'm just grateful to just be at this pinnacle of life, to be able to convey and communicate this. I'm super grateful for all the people who have taught me this information, the people who have encouraged me to keep going, people who have been asking me to keep going. Because there's been times that I'm like, I don't want to keep talking about this stuff. I feel like I have years of content and everybody becoming content creators, and I'm like, I have been repeating this stuff. But God was like, you a Sag, right? What is Sagittarius? We're teachers. And what do teachers do? repetition. We repeat ourselves so it can stick. Okay. So
I went through it too.
Yeah.
I went through it too. Like I was doing lives. You guys know I was doing lives and talking this talk way back when nobody was doing lives. Like, what bullshit is he talking about? And what is this craziness?
We were practicing because we're
already.
practitioners. Because we're practitioners. And this is
and then went through it was like, okay, I don't need to do this anymore because everybody's living and they're making all the good bread. I'm like, I'm good. I'm like, they ain't trying to hear my old ass no more. I'm good. But same revelation you got. Spirit was like, no.
And if y'all want to rewatch this for my Instagram people, if y'all want to rewatch this, please follow my Facebook page. I have Elra tagged. I'm going to be following Rain so I can tag her as well too, because and we're all practitioners. We're all here to help you if you need any guidance. These two people are amazing at what they do.
Yes.
Make sure y'all follow them on Instagram or Facebook. Make sure y'all share some love. Make sure we're a community, and I created this safe space on my social media. I got a bunch of people who just on here just to, like we're here actually as a tribe and a community, and that's one of the shadow versions of Scorpio energy too. Like if it's all about the money, if it's all about just what you can gain without empowering other people around you, you off balance. This is supposed to be about empowering the people around you as well too. And I felt like as a Sag on the other side of that Scorpio, I'm a seasoned Scorpio, I like to call myself. In Vedic astrology, I am a Scorpio, but I have the Sag tendencies with the tropical, and I'm learning how to be able to once again utilize my personal power, have that sovereignty for myself, applying it for myself so that I can eloquently share with other people, because this healing once again is not a hustle. This is something that the currency comes with it once you apply this wisdom the right way, and you will be taken care of. Things will happen how it needs to when you align yourself in the proper positions by aligning yourself with the stars. And I know that may sound cliche, but you got to understand it. You got to know what's going on. You can't just be about, oh, my sun is Sagittarius and I don't give reverence to the moon and what's happening in Scorpio season, and I'm not giving reverence to how my energy is even what it's doing, even, you know what I'm saying? What is my energy even doing in this season? If I don't understand that, if I don't understand how I operated each season, I'm missing the fucking mark, yo. Like, you can't sit here and say, oh, I can't stand Scorpios. And the next time y'all have me come, if I'm invited again, I want to talk about what season are you in when a certain sign comes into your life habitually, or if you don't like a certain sign.
Oh, that's gonna be good. That's gonna be good.
I'm tired of people projecting and deflecting on other signs, not even understanding that they hold in the energy within themselves, or their babies in that energy, and they need to actually be learning from it. I want to talk more about that.
Well, we're gonna have an private rap about that, because I need a taste, because I got questions now. But I'm looking forward. You guys looking forward to that? We coming back with that. Oh God, that's good. Oh, I'm so excited.
I'm ready, y'all. I'm ready.
Yes.
And this resting, I will be resting in this season. But by Aries season, y'all gonna see me on fire when it comes to how I organize this, because I'm more ready than ever to package this thing up so that I can do something else, like create some babies and have other businesses and tap into other gifts in my life that are so, because some of this, my desires it's deeper than just astrology. Astrology was just one pentacle. What about the other things that you're passionate about? So that's why we gotta get this shit off of us. I be like, let me get my rocks off with this astrology.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's true. And that probably is like, I think that we're gonna wrap it up just now, but I think that it kind of goes into like some of the creative blockage that we get this urge and we start, but we don't like get it out of us. And we be ready to jump onto the next one. Like, oh, I'm blocked and I can't get it, but it's like, did you really get everything out that you need to get out of you before you go to the next? So that you gave me some food for thought. Yeah. So I received that. Again, I love you guys. Go back and listen to what you missed. Share the live. Send it to some people. The YouTube link, I will post it for those of you that have people you would like to send it to that are not available on Facebook. I have it on YouTube as well. So again, I look forward to our next chat. You guys take it easy and enjoy your evening. Love and blessings to you all.
Love you guys. Thank you.
Righteous the whole man, raw splitting the sea into that clear sight. Go far into vision, lifting up that soul right. High low, high low, high low, high low. Elevate my love, generate my touch. Everything I see coming to me, I'm knowing. Fruits that I bear from the sowing. I just put in work to the morning, to the 3 bird that we heard. Stepping through the light, that's a rebirth. Giving thanks to life and